One of my subscribers, Stacy, sent me a video of her styling her curly hair at home. And there are a couple of massive and very common mistakes happening that are absolutely sabotaging everything that she's trying to achieve. Now, she wants volume on top, she wants smooth curls, less frizz, but the way that she's drying her hair is kind of doing the exact opposite. And this is something that I see constantly behind the chair. I've been doing hair professionally for over 30 years, and I've seen this exact problem hundreds of times. But the good news is, it's absolutely fixable. And today, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what Stacy's doing wrong, but more importantly, what she should be doing instead. Now stick with me here because by the end of this, you're going to understand how to get the curls that you actually want without constantly fighting your hair. So let's jump into Stacy's video.
Hi, my name is Stacy. My hair is very fine, so I struggle with getting volume on the top. I try to stay away from the triangle look because it just doesn't work for me. So that's the main thing I'm trying to do is get some volume on the top. So I've just gotten out of the shower. My hair is wet. I'm gonna use some mousse. I just used some Tresemme for volume.
Okay, so first off, I gotta stop right there. So there's a couple things I'm noticing. One is that her hair does look to be equally as damp everywhere from roots to ends, which is spot on. Way to go, Stacey. That's what you should be doing. If your hair is not equally damp, if it's drier in one area and more damp in the other area, it's going to mean that the product is going to apply inconsistently, and you're gonna get inconsistent results because of that. So Stacy, on this one, you absolutely nailed it. She also mentions that she doesn't like to use too much product.
I don't want to get too much in my hair just because it tends to get greasy.
The concern is that you don't want to use too much product for a host of different reasons. It gets greasy, it builds up, it weighs your hair down, all of these things. This is something that I hear all the time. See, people don't want to use too much product in their hair for a bunch of different reasons. It makes sense. However, we need to make sure that we cover every hair roots to ends. If we don't, it's going to give us good results in some areas, and then we're not going to get those same results in other areas. So to me, rather than worry about using too much product, I'd be more worried about using enough product to fully saturate your hair. And then if this particular product tends to get greasy, then I would move to a different product altogether versus using less of that product. Does that make sense?
I don't put a whole lot because my hair is very fine. I go ahead and I comb it through.
Combing it through is fine, and I love that you do that because you are trying to make sure that you get it on all your hair roots to ends. However, if you're a person that struggles with getting curl in your hair and you're worried about it being pulled out, I definitely would not comb through it at this point. The real benefit to combing through is to get equal distribution, which you really can do with just your hands working it through your hair. But then the other benefit is to make sure that you don't get any tangles in your hair. And you can do that even with your hands, just kind of working it through. But then if your hair is not tangled, then I would shy personally away from using a comb and simply just use your hands to kind of shape in the style that you want.
Oops.
Did she just say oops? It sounded like she just responded to me. That was hilarious.
Then I will go through and scrunch it before I go to dry it with a diffuser.
This is great, and this is what you should do. Before you dry your hair, we want to get it into shape. So what you're doing right now at this process is you're getting it parted on the side that you want it to be parted on. You're scrunching it up a bit to get the amount of curl and shape that you want. You're pulling down any bangs, you're doing anything that you need to get the style a smaller, wet version of what you want it to be. So before you start drying your hair, you should think that you basically, or essentially you want like the version of the style to be there, but just have less volume than it's going to once it's dry. So that when you end, you basically have the same overall shape that it was when it was wet. It's just a larger version of that shape with a little bit more volume and then a little bit more curl separation. I hope that made sense.
Sometimes I have really good curl days, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I use gel, but I find that it's too crunchy. I like the mousse just because it's just much lighter.
Okay, so Stacy mentioned the difference between gel and mousse, and she is spot on. See, the idea that hair gel is kind of crunchy and more stiff than mousse is absolutely correct 99% of the time. Typically speaking, mousse has a little bit less control and typically feel a little bit softer in your hair, whereas most gels or even some creams tend to be a little bit more aggressive with the control, but you're also gonna feel a little bit more of that kind of product crunch in your hair from them. But with that said, the crunch isn't always a bad thing, is it's actually an important part of this overall process. And we're gonna touch on that actually a little bit more here in a minute.
So let's go ahead and give it a quick dry here. I'm using my travel dryer. The diffuser works fine as well as a big one that I use.
Okay, so I'm seeing a smaller diffuser here. Now, the concern with the smaller diffuser versus a larger diffuser is that all we want the diffuser to do is diffuse as much of that airflow as possible. See, a larger diffuser is simply going to create a larger area for that air to distribute through, and it's going to minimize some of that airflow, which will minimize the manipulation to the cuticle. And the more that we can diffuse that airflow, the more we're minimizing the amount of manipulation against the hair cuticle, and therefore the more that we're minimizing the potential of frizz. So while the smaller diffuser may work on some level, a larger diffuser is actually going to create less frizz because it's manipulating the hair less. I hope that made sense. Okay, so the one thing that I see, there's a lot of manipulation going on with the hair right now. There are scenarios where scrunching your hair up during the drying process can encourage more curl. And in some hair textures, that can work. But specifically based on your hair texture, which is fine, and your main concern, which is minimizing frizz, for you, this kind of drying approach is simply going to maximize all of those problems. If we want to minimize those problems by minimizing the frizz, then we really want to keep our hands out of the equation right now. And so just think that everything you're doing right now is kind of working against you. Did that make sense? I always feel like, I hope this isn't coming across like I'm being mean. I'm really not trying to be. So Stacey, please don't take this the wrong way. This is all coming from a place of just wanting to help give you insight into what's going on with your hair.
It usually dries pretty quick just because my hair is really fine. And I have a lot of it, which is good.
Okay, so one of the first things that Stacey mentioned in her video was that she wanted to control the frizz. Unfortunately though, the first thing that I would modify in your drying process is how much you actually manipulate your hair while it's drying. So you're encouraging a quicker drying process. And that might be good in some scenarios, but we're gonna have to weigh out the pros and cons. Pro being that you're gonna get a better, less frizz result for spending a little bit of extra time. The con is it's gonna take a little bit of extra time. But if the result is worth the time spent, then it all makes sense. Now, you also mentioned in the beginning of the video that you wanna create more volume on top and you wanna minimize the volume on the side so that it doesn't get that kind of triangular shape that curly hair especially is absolutely super common with.
Like I say, I'm always just looking for that elusive volume at the roots because I just can't seem to get it.
So this is very much a scenario of volume at the roots is created by layering, whether we like it or not, right? When we're talking about curly hair, we are absolutely thinking about cutting that shape into the hair and not styling the shape in the hair. We are relying on the cut to create everything, essentially, for this overall look. And so if we don't spend time layering it enough and cutting that shape in, it's gonna be very hard for you to create the amount of volume that you wanna create because we're trying to build a house on a foundation that's not there, right? So if we get that foundation in, we're gonna see a big difference in the amount of volume that we get from it.
If you can suggest something better, I'd be all for that. I did get my hair lightly layered a while ago just to give myself some more volume, and I don't know if it really did anything, to be honest with you, but
it won't, simply because it was lightly layered, unfortunately. And I see this all the time. Oftentimes people kind of try to dip their toe in the pool of layers, if you will, by just doing a little bit less layering or longer layers. And essentially what happens at that point is you end up with all the detriments of having layers, but with very few to almost none of the actual benefits. However, though, if you actually shorten those layers up a little bit, you're gonna get more volume on top, you'd get less volume on the sides because there'd just simply be less hair on the sides to get bigger, and then your hair would actually end up looking more dense in the process. It's like a win-win 99% of the time.
And some days curl better than others. This is not curling as well, but you get the drift. Usually I have more of like corkscrew curls.
It never curls the way you want it to when you want it to, right? It's like, I feel like every woman with curly hair in the comments right now could be like, I feel you, I understand.
So then I just flip my head over and do it upside down.
Okay, I love this. Stacey, you're flipping it upside. So you're doing, this is great. I just wanted to see you start this at the very beginning versus now. We want to immediately out of the gate start getting that dried upside down and dry the top part first, just to create as much volume and curl on the top as you possibly can. Then you flip your head straight up. You actually don't tilt your head off to any side whatsoever. You look straight ahead. And then you would actually stand there and basically hold the dryer out from your head and dry the sides and the back. And that way they're actually hanging down and you're not encouraging any extra volume in them. You're just kind of getting them dry in the position that they're in with as minimal amount of frizz as you can. See, this is gonna actually minimize the amount of volume that you get on the sides. It's gonna maximize the illusion that you're creating more volume on top. And it's gonna do this all while creating less frizz at the same time.
I do try to air dry my hair a lot just because I'm retired, so I don't have to be in a real big hurry to go somewhere, and I think it might be easier on my hair. Okay, so I've got it mostly dry.
I gotta stop it right there real quick. Air drying can be better, can be worse. I've actually made videos about specifically air drying and the idea that it's actually easier or harder on hair. And there's actually some scientific studies that show that it might not actually be better for hair. That's a whole different video. I can point it to you, go watch it. But air drying is fine, but just keep in mind that everything we're doing to your hair while it's drying is going to add some sort of texture or frizz to it. So the air drying process essentially just gives us more time to accidentally do things that are going to encourage potentially frizz. Whether that's literally driving in the car with your window down, or you just touching it because you're scratching your head or whatever. So a blow dryer, it's taking that time that it has to create frizz and it's making that time much shorter. So there's just less opportunity to create frizz. There's a lot, but did it make sense? Okay.
I wear my hair up a lot because I just can't make it look right. And it's unfortunate because, you know, I have hair and I got a lot of it, but I just can't never get this to style right.
We'll get you there. You just gotta change the process a little bit. For the bangs, a flat iron could work, but you'd actually get better results if you either used a round brush and a blow dryer, or blow dryer round brushes that have the blow dryers in them. Those are actually gonna do a better job of kind of helping you to smooth out the ends a bit. You're gonna get a little bit more bend in your hair that's gonna match a little bit more of that curl a little bit better. This is gonna be a very small difference, but it's kind of a lot of these smaller differences that add up to create a much larger impact. Another option to style your bangs would be to pull them down how you want to wear them when your hair is wet before you ever start drying it. What we would actually want to do is pull those bangs down. We're just getting gravity to get this up off of your scalp. And then you're gonna blow dry it. Then when you sit back up, those bangs are gonna fall back down. So you're gonna style your hair before we dry your hair. The goal here would basically be to get your hair styled again the way that you want it to look when it's completely done.
That's looked better. See, I have a big forehead. I will use it.
I have a big
try to
forehead.
get maybe a little more volume. Looks really frizzy. It's not cooperating today. Maybe I didn't put enough mousse on it, which is possible.
So she's using a pick right now, and picks are fine, but there's a but. This is the point where you'd actually be best off just scrunching your hair a bit to help break up the product, and then going in at the root with your fingertips to kind of break up those roots and create a little bit more lift that way, right? So you go and scrunch it, and then you can go in at the roots like the claw, like this, mess up the roots to get those roots broken up a little bit, come right back out. Everything that we do, we're minimizing the potential of combing through our ends at all with anything. Now the key to this though, is that you wanna make sure that your hair is completely dry and that you use enough product, right, to cover all of your hair so that it's covered with product from roots to ends, and that you actually don't comb through your hair at all, but you're simply scrunching out the product or the cast that was created by that product. And then we would end up with kind of separated curls with less frizz and more volume. So picks are okay, but they can often start to run the risk of being more like you're combing through your hair versus just scrunching out that cast. and getting your hair to have more volume, but still have the curl with less frizz.
I'm all done, and I think that that's about it. Again, please help me.
I think you did a great job, Stacey. I think there's a few things that we just want to shift up a little bit, if you will. So in summary, here's exactly what I would do. First, I would make sure that the hair is equally damp from roots to ends before I applied any product. Then I would be sure to apply enough product to cover all the hair's roots to ends. If you want less control and less feeling of the hair product texture in your hair, then I would lean toward using a mousse. But if you want more control of the frizz, but also potentially a little bit more feeling of that product in your hair, then I would move over to something like a cream or a gel. Fine, thinner hair textures, mousse is probably where you're gonna live. I've got some products linked in the description where you can find the ones that I like. After that, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna scrunch your hair with your fingers and basically style it with your hands. You're gonna get it placed where it looks basically how you want it to look once it's completely dry. Now this is gonna include the bangs basically being where you want them to be styled or being pulled down the way that you want them to be styled, as well as to make sure that your hair is parted on the correct side. After that, I'd tilt my head upside down and I'd use a large diffuser and I would dry your top, basically just allowing the dryer to stay away from your hair so it doesn't touch your hair and just allow it to do the drying. So you're not moving it around too much, you're just holding it out and allowing it to dry the top of your hair with minimizing as much manipulation as you can to the hair while it's drying. And then once the top is pretty much dry, I would then throw my hair back and I'd hold the blow dryer away from my hair so that it's basically not touching anything. It's just giving my hair enough hot air to start that drying process. Now, after it's 100% dry, then I would use my hands to go through and actually scrunch up the curl and break up the product to get a softer overall feel. Then if you still want to smooth out the bangs, I personally would use a round brush or a blow dry brush. So Stacey, I really hope this helps. I think if you implement even just a few of these changes, you're gonna see a pretty massive difference in the results. And honestly, the biggest thing is just keep your hands out of your hair while it's drying. You're gonna cut the frizz easily in half by just doing that. Now, if you guys liked this video and you want me to review your hair routine, there's a link in the description where you can actually email me. Let me know what you're struggling with. I'd love to maybe feature you in an upcoming video. And if you got value out of this, then do me a huge favor. Hit that subscribe button. Look, it's free, it helps the channel, and I really appreciate all that support. I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Thank you so much. If you liked this video, you're probably gonna love this video. So why don't you head over there and I'll see you over there. Take care.